Hi everyone, my name is Danielle and my partner is Dominic. Today we're going to be talking about too many tegus, a review and recommendation of methods for tegu detection and capture in Florida, USA. Salvatore marianae, commonly referred to as the black and white tegu, is an invasive lizard that now has multiple established populations in southern Florida. This is according to Jarnovich et al., 2018, from Scientific Reports. While there have been some efforts of capture, few have caught a substantial number of individuals. So this is why we're making a recommendation for what we consider to be the ideal method for detection and capture of the species.
So we looked at four different methods. The first one is live trapping. According to Avery, Humphrey, and Engelman in 2016 in the Southeastern Naturalist Journal, the most commonly used traps to catch tegus are box, funnel, and tomahawk traps. They can also be baited or unbaited. According to that same article, the most common baits are either chicken eggs or some sort of scent lure. So think something that smells like carrion or maybe a rotting egg. That'll catch you some tegus. The pros is that the different trap options available on the market allow for really flexible budgets. Maybe if you want a more expensive one or a cheaper one, there's a lot of different options out there. The cons is that you're risking bycatch. Those scent lures or those eggs can attract other animals too. And so you're risking setting that trap and then coming back the next day and not actually being able to catch a tegu. Visual surveys is our next one. That is when a person or people are on a transect and they're walking down it and they are looking for tegus in all directions. Where do you want to do these transect surveys? Well, according to Klug et al. 2015 in the Journal of Biological Invasions, the best place to do this would be in a disturbed area, maybe somewhere along like an edge of habitat, think between a forest or a grassland. You might maybe find some tegus there. The pros are that visual surveys are pretty inexpensive. Besides buying equipment to protect you from the sun or maybe some binoculars, you're not really paying for any other sort of tools or equipment. The cons is that there's definitely a bias in the detection of people. Not everyone's gonna be able to detect tegus in the same exact way. You're gonna have potentially a lot of different volunteers going out there helping you. So there's bias between the people and it takes a lot to train them to be able to find those tegus.
So moving on to drift fences. Drift fences are short fences that are set up in specific areas. So basically how they function is the tegu would bump into the fence and theoretically walk along the fence in either direction. When it reaches the end of the fence, they would either fall into a hole or a pitfall trap. So this has been suggested to also use a funnel trap at either end of the drift fence by Ingman, Kaiser, and Azario in 2019 Environmental Science and Pollution Research. Some of the pros for drift fences is that it is very cost effective and simple and replicable. A con for drift fences is that there's a lower probability of coming in contact with tegu because it's hard to target them specifically, and this can lead to potentially a lot of bycatch. And lastly, we're going to be moving on to dog detection. So dog detection involves training dogs to detect the scent of tegus, which would allow for an extended search range. Traditionally, hunters in Argentina have used dogs to capture tegus, according to Prescott Allen and Prescott Allen of 1996 in the IUCN. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, as we've learned in class, have already utilized this method to detect local invasive pythons in the Everglades. So using this method of dog detection to locate tegus would follow very similar preparations and protocol. So a pro of dog detection is that dogs can travel for greater periods of time and for longer distances, which extends the search range and can potentially increase the rate of searching. A con for dog detection is that it's time consuming to select and train dogs and can potentially be expensive to utilize already trained dogs if you don't want to select your own dogs.
So we recommend that we use the dog detection method in capturing tegus here in the state of Florida. We'll recognize there are some cons with the amount of time and money you need to put in to train those detection dogs. We think the pros outweigh the cons. Dogs have a better search rate, they're able to cover more ground, and they're able to specifically locate tegus using their eyes and their noses, which are better than ours. And overall, we've seen that this already works with pythons in the Everglades. Detection dogs are able to find them. We think this can be transferred over this similar method defining tegus, and it'll be effective in stopping their spread across Florida and the Southeast. So thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to answer.